There's something really special about waiting to buy a game for a year or two after its launch. Not only do you end up saving money, but oftentimes you get the best version of that game. Whether it's the version where the developers have done all the optimizations and the bug fixes necessary to make it a better game, or it's like a definitive version with all the DLC included. And there is a very big distinction. I don't know about you, but for me, if I get a great game and I love it, and that game costs me $20 instead of $60 or $70, I feel very different about that title. I feel so different about the value that it offers. And I'm not saying you do this with every single title, but in some cases, I wish I could replay some of these games for the very first time on their definitive versions. Case in point, Cyberpunk 2077 I'm playing through again right now. And I played that game at launch. I did enjoy that game, but my goodness, the 2.0 update that launched around the time Phantom Liberty came out absolutely transforms that game into something completely new. You can respec your character at any point. They overhauled the entire talent system. It's so much more affordable to get cool cyberware that impacts your gameplay substantially. I could not believe how different of an experience it is. And I'm doing all this to get to Phantom Liberty, which I have not played. I'm trying to get that save file at the point where I'm ready for it. And then wait for like a Steam sale or something to pick it up, because let's be honest, pretty much every platform other than Nintendo at this point does really killer sales, spring, winter, fall, and summer. So if you're willing to wait and kind of build this catalog of games, well, that looks cool, but I'm going to try that at a later date, you might be able to get it for $15 or $20. Speaking of games I wish I could just replay now, Metro Exodus. I really feel like Exodus flew under the radar. It was one of my favorite games. Was it 2019, I think, that it came out? I did not have a ray tracing capable graphics card. I'm going back through the game now with my new, GPU that does support the ray tracing, and it's amazing. I really felt like they had this blueprint that we were going to see applied for a lot of FPS campaigns moving forward. You see, Metro Exodus blends a single-player style corridor shooter, which a lot of FPS players are used to, with semi-open world segments. And so it kind of combines the best of both worlds. It's not a big fat open map like Fallout. Rather, you do have a linear campaign that you're progressing through, but there are multiple open world segments where you can go and spend as much time doing side objectives, exploring. And it was that perfect balance. Because sometimes I don't really love just the open world smorgasbord, and sometimes ultra linear tunnel corridor FPS games can get a bit repetitive and stale. Not only that, visually, Metro Exodus is phenomenal. There's some cool mods for the game, and a ton of difficulty settings to explore here that will keep you coming back time and time again. One of the huge bummers, I was incredibly stoked for Exodus, and then right before launch, there was this whole controversy about them being on the Epic Store, and I think that was an exclusive thing, and they pulled it out at the last second. It was messy. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people didn't try the game as a result of it, at least on the PC side. Well, right now you can get Exodus over on Steam for just $30, and that's not even on sale. If you were to wait for this game for the summer Steam sale, you're going to get it for even less. It's also important to note there are some games that just don't drop in price, and so waiting is not a great option. Elden Ring is one of those titles. I remember I was thinking about the launch timing. Gran Turismo 7 was coming out around the same time as Elden Ring, and I was like super split. I loved growing up Gran Turismo 3, Gran Turismo 4. Also love Souls games. DS1, 2, and 3 are just incredible. I'm the weird one. Dark Souls 2 is my favorite. I know it's not the same quality as the others, but for whatever reason, it was just a time in life. I love Dark Souls 2. But Elden Ring is what I chose. And it was transformative. What needs to be said, that game is a masterpiece. And with the DLC coming up, I've been looking, okay, how much does a PC copy cost? Because I got it originally for like the Xbox One. I don't really want to go through the DLC on that old VCR. The frame rate and frame pacing stuff was a little iffy. And lo and behold, Elden Ring has not really dropped in price. And that makes sense. It's also one of those games, though, you can confidently say, well, I'm fine to support that. That is an awesome game. That is a game well worth the asking price that they've put out there. So sometimes, it's not just Nintendo. There are some games where you may just want to get it at launch for the hype. I'm not saying it's bad to do that. I'm just saying, moving forward, man, if you want to save a lot of money on this hobby, just wait a little bit. This is Dragoon interrupting the video. I'm editing it right now. I bought Elden Ring on PC last night. All of you in my Discord, you convinced me, and wow, it's so smooth and amazing. So I went against my own advice in this video, got it full price. The last time it was on sale was like $36 at the Steam winter sale, so it is such a good game. All right, let's get back to the video. Fallout New Vegas, another game that I've been playing recently. I don't know, I must have bought a big Bethesda collection on a Steam sale forever ago. But you can get all of New Vegas and all the DLC for dirt cheap when these Steam sales roll around. You can also get like a 360 copy of this game for absolutely nothing used. And lo and behold, here is an RPG that is held up extremely well. It's so much fun. Yeah, it's a buggy mess, but you literally have 100+ hours of content here if this type of game vibes with you. I'm coming off my Fallout 4 playthrough, and New Vegas is radically different. It's my first playthrough of it, and it's just so RPG. And the amount of choices, the great writing, how much the story's been impacted by the choices I've made so far, it's just awesome. And I'm in the zone where, I wish I could have played this when I was younger, but I know I'm enjoying it just as much now as I would have if it was over a decade ago. Then there's sometimes multiplayer games that if you wait, you can get the better experience. I've been playing on the channel here and there Star Wars Battlefront 2. The population for the game is not amazing, but waiting on that game was super smart. The way the loot box drama was going, the design philosophies behind it, was all awful at launch. And then EA, let DICE finally wrestle it into a pretty great game right as they abandoned it. So it can be tricky with multiplayer games. Sometimes you get the best version, or sometimes you're so late to the party that there's not enough people around and support has ended. But in general, I would say being willing to wait pays off in the long run. You ultimately can get a game for a fraction of the price, and that typically changes my impression of a title dramatically. If I'm spending $5 or $10 for this incredible experience that gives me like 100+ hours of great gameplay, I'm going to always think back on it really fondly. Plus, I've got all the resources I need to make the decision if it's a good game. I can go check out critique, look at, impressions. You're given all the data necessary. Unfortunately, we've become pretty much like beta testers in this new era of AAA gaming. Sometimes front-running the curve of trying a new game usually ends up burning you, especially as games are going to $70, $80, $90 for these deluxe and bigger editions, and they're going to push more and more players towards a subscription service. It's going to be harder to own the games that you want, at least from the big publishers who run these subscription services. Or you can just wait. Just wait, see, let a price drop happen. Are there any great games that you have waited on that you were really happy that you did so? Let me know about it down in the comments below. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you have a great day, and we will see you again very soon.